Imagine this. Your 11-year-old son wins a golden ticket to visit this little chocolate factory with 4 other children. And in the end, your son comes out as the winner, the good omen. But the prize for this whole thing was to live in this massive, ominous factory with this, the owner, this candy man. And here's the catch. The main condition is that your child cannot bring his entire family with him to live in this factory. How would you react? Let me role play real quick as Mr. Bucket. I'm gonna play Charlie's father real quick. Okay, give me a second.
Are you ready to leave all this behind and come live with me at the factory?
Of course. I mean, it's all right if my family come too.
Oh, my dear boy, of course they can't.
You said he can't what? You playing with me, right? Like you playing with me. You playing? Where you going? This nigga lost his mind, baby. Take Charlie upstairs. Oh fuck. Fuck. Now get the fuck up out my house. To quote Nicotine's famous Honey, excuse me while I drop a bountiful donation into the swear jar because this shit right here
Is mine?
No, I'm kidding. This was a childhood movie of mine. I still love it. I still have a lot of nostalgia with it. I wore that DVD out. I loved how dark it was. I loved the humor. Johnny Depp's Wonka is personally my favorite out of all of them. It's all there, you know. This film was requested from a sub that encouraged me to revisit this in the same style I did with my Cat in the Hat video. And I thought, what is so sinister about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? What? Everything. Upon rewatching for this video, I felt it. I knew I was gonna be in for some bull. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a musical fantasy film released on July 15th, 2005. Written by John August and directed by the extremely talented and beloved Tim Burton. Based on the 1964 children's novel of the same name by Ronald Dahl. There are plenty familiar faces in this movie, from the iconic character actor Johnny Depp, who most immediately recognize as Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, but I always see Mr. Crybaby Walker. Yup. I mean, if you get it, you get it. And if you mess with the king, you're gonna cry. A baby cry. A baby cry. A baby cry. A baby cry. Ow! Some other cast members are Freddie Highmore from the Spiderwick Chronicles, as well as Bates Motel. We got Miss Anna Sophia Robb from Bridge to Terabithia. You got to keep your mind wide open of the possibilities. She's also in the Carrie Diaries and one of my favorite coming-age films of all time, The Way Back. Helena Bonham Carter from Fight Club, Harry Potter, Corpse Bride, and Alice in Wonderland. Noah Taylor from Almost Famous, and yet another indie film I adore called Submarine when he was the father. And Christopher Lee from Attack of the Clones, Lord of the Rings, The Wicker Man, and of course, Dracula. On a budget of $150 million, the film grossed approximately $475 million worldwide, making over triple its money back. One of the most notable facts about this entire production is that Tim Burton wanted to use as little CGI as possible, and it shows. Look at the material, especially with the chocolate room. Like that whole room is designed so incredibly. That chocolate river is real. The waterfall is real. Like that, this ain't no green screen. 244,993.98 US gallons, or 927,403.1 liters of fake chocolate was used for the waterfall and the river area combined. Then there's the Oompa Loompa thing, which Deep Roy was modified for, but that makes sense because it's only one of him. He played every Oompa Loompa, repeating the same movement several hundred times while they were stitched together digitally, each Oompa Loompa representing a separate performance by Roy. And because of this, his salary was raised to $1 million. I know that's right. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is often seen as just a quirky little whimsical tale about a poor boy's golden ticket fantasy, but let's keep it G. This is very much of a horror movie in disguise. This Delulu reclusive Candyman is drugging children. He's drugging the children, right?
Right.
Luring them into his little factory, subjecting them to these bizarre Saw-like punishments for their bad behavior. As my Aunt Sheila say, And one by one, they're picked off in increasingly disturbing ways, sucked through pipes, inflated like a human blueberry, thrown into a garbage chute, or sent into the television void. And the adults? Useless. Either enabling their kids' worst impulses, I'm looking at you, Mr. Salt, or standing by in a stunned horror like, no, I don't know what he's doing. But the creepiest factor of this film is Willy Wonka himself. His eerie, almost otherworldly presence, the cryptic remarks, the way he watches, always watching, waiting for the kids to mess up so he can deliver his poetic justice. He's not just eccentric, he's calculating. A man who planned every single one of these accidents and never lifted a finger to stop them. So grab a snack, grab some candy, if you will, and join me as we take a walk through this twisted factory of horrors and hypothesize on just how sinister and groomy this Willy Wonka is. Let's look at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from 2005. I know it plays into the factory aspect and what's to come, as well as being Tim Burton's aspect, but baby, for a kid's film, this is quite eerie. The dark color patterns, the machinery making all the chocolate. Girl, where's the color? In this story, we follow a young 11-year-old boy named Charlie Bucket, who lives in this beat-up, crooked house that's separate from his town with 6 other family members. They up in here eating cabbage soup almost every night for dinner. Oh, it's bad. Hard times. Gonna make you wonder why you even try, right? The Buckets are dirt poor. No, excuse me, po. They are dirt po. Like, I borrowed this sweater out of Charlie's closet. And is he getting it back? No, because I'm not going in that factory. The house's infrastructure is so bad that Charlie's bed sits right under this massive hole in the roof. And it's what outside? 24 degrees? 15? Y'all see this wet? Like, little Charlie's got a Rudolph nose. Like, he's a growing boy. This is dangerous. Charlie's grandfather, Joe, used to work for Wonka back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth. You know, back when Wonka was on the come up and he had something to prove. He was just a little corner store and the apocalypse for candy was just beginning. I'ma just say it, Wonka was out here doing witchcraft. Let's call it what it is. I don't inherently think that magic is bad. I have a lot of respect and admiration for the occult. I find it very fun and very interesting, but at the end of the day, it's the intent behind what you do with the energy that you're moving and the type of magic that you do. William puts a bean in Pop Joe's mouth, which he chews, and it turns into a moving chocolate bird. What the hell is that about? Then we find out that William had created an entirely new way of making chocolate ice cream so that it stays cold for hours without a freezer. You can even leave it lying in the sun on a hot day and it won't go runny.
That's impossible.
But Willy Wonka did it.
Yeah, he did. He did. With magic. This man is dabbling in the dark arts. He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
He ain't get away with it because I know, because I see you, William, and I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna fucking expose you, nigga. Other chocolate makers and candy men alike had grown jealous of William and his success, causing spies to infiltrate his employees and steal his recipe. So next thing you know, these other companies start making ice cream that never melts, or chewing gum that never lost its flavor, or candy balloons that you could blow up to incredible sizes. Like the joint got so bad, William dropped a deuce on everybody. He said, fuck y'all, fuck this candy, fuck this business, and I'm retiring. Now what? And closed his factory forever. But one day, smoke started coming back out of the factory's chimney, and it was clear that the magician was back up and running. But no one was ever seen going in or out. William never showed his face, and the only movement is the truck shipping the candy bars out. So Charlie points out that, okay, if the factory is up and running, then who is making the chocolate? AI? Magic. The next day, signs are slapped all around the city with the mysterious Wonka announcing that he is selecting 5 children to visit his factory. He's planted 5 golden tickets inside 5 candy bars across the world. So start the apocalypse. Everybody is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Japan, Morocco, New York City. And here's my thing, right? Why does it have to be 5 kids? Right. Adults like candy. I like candy. What you can't just have some young adults like it. I get it that you trying to have somebody inherent your little factory or whatever word, but you can get like a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old that can outlive you. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. But you see, kids are more prone to persuasion and influence. We all know the popular phrase, it's a tale as old as time. Never take candy from a stranger. You give a child some candy, they'll do anything you want. And I find it quite strange that it's not the 5 people who find it, but the 5 kids who find it. Like, what if somebody finds it and they don't have a kid? They can't come? Sorry, you're not allowed in my factory unless you have a child. Charlie is doubting his chances since he only gets the Wonka bars on his birthday. But this is a movie, so we have to make his birthday next week. Off the rip, you think Papa George is being an asshole because he's all frowny face saying that Charlie will never get it. But was he being a Debbie Downer? Or was he protecting his grandson?
Right.
Earlier in the film, he was ragging on Charlie's toothpaste cap factory creation, which he gets from his dad's job, who works at a toothpaste factory. And initially I was like, okay, you old bitch, not too much. He's a kid, let him live. But low-key, he cooked. He's just going about it the wrong way. The first gremlin to find a golden ticket is Augustus Gloop from Dusseldorf, Germany, who didn't even realize he had a ticket until he bit into the chocolate bar. The reporters are all up in his face asking how he's going to celebrate. And he says, by eating more candy. And the mother is just eating up the press. Oh, brother, this mother stinks.
Told you it'd be a poker.
The second ticket is found, and by found, I mean bought by daddy, is this brat from New England named Veruca Salt. My bad, y'all. I had to keep this. I'm gonna keep this in my lap for the rest of this video. Don't mind me. Her scummy rich father bought thousands of boxes and made his employees stop cracking peanuts to instead unwrap candy bars so he could get it for his little princess.
Where's my golden ticket? I want my golden ticket.
I don't know who you think you talking to, but you ain't talking to me.
I want my golden ticket.
See. Move your hand. Move your hand. You better check who you talking to. I'm not one of your little friends. No wonder your mother's an alcoholic. Charlie is watching all of the televised events of the winners with his grandparents, and he clocks the tea. You know, he's pointing out how unfair Veruca's winning is and how ungrateful she is. But Charlie criticized them with class and with maturity because he's humble. His parents arrive home with an early birthday gift. Can you guess what it is? A Wonka bar. There's anticipation as he unwraps the drugs to nothing. And once again, because Charlie is a humble and selfless king, he takes his birthday present and breaks off a piece for each of his family members. The next day, Charlie picks up a newspaper in the trash, bringing it home and letting his fam know the third golden ticket winner, which is...
Here's me gagging.
Miss Bubblegum Poppin' Diva Violet Beauregard from Atlanta, Georgia. She's won 263 trophies and medals and counting. When she heard about the golden ticket competition, she had to lay off the chewing gum and claim what's hers. She's quite an ambitious girl and a little competitive whippersnapper, if you will. And she let the kitty cameras know that these little other 4 children going in the factory with her don't matter, because who's gonna come out on top? It's gonna be her. You know what? Women's stories matter.
Women's stories matter. Yeah, right. They just matter.
I'm kind of rooting for her. I don't know. The 4th ticket was found by Mike TV from Denver, Colorado, the gamer boy. He tells the reporters that all you had to do was track the manufacturing dates offset by weather and the derivative of the Nikkei index. Yeah, whatever that means, nephew. Anyways, and then this motherfucker talking about some...
A retard figured out.
So I'm gonna have to use this belt on all of y'all. That's what I'm hearing.
Die, die, die!
And some therapy, because it's giving school shooter. Things are getting quite precarious at home because Mr. Bucket loses his job. The skyrocketing sales of all the candy bars has also came with the problem of more cavities. Therefore, more toothpaste is needed. So the owners cut off all the employees and replaced them with robots for labor. This is real as hell, actually. Like, I'm scared. Like, that's happening now. Papa Joe calls Charlie downstairs, giving him his secret stash coin to go buy another candy bar. But when he comes back and unwraps it, it's empty. But luckily for Charlie, after taking in the fumes and smell of the luring magical chocolate, the universe gives him a $10 bill, to which he immediately goes to the nearest joint to buy a bar. And just like magic, literally, our humble Charlie unwraps the 5th golden ticket. And I don't know why he would open that right at the register, because as soon as I saw that gold in the corner, I would have shoved that joint in my jacket and ran. He's immediately got a target on his back. One man offers $50 and a new bicycle. Another woman offers $500. Child, I would have been on eBay in a heartbeat.
$50,000 cash.
$50,000. And no refunds. The hell you talking about $500? Man, start the bidding. The first person he shows is his pops, who yells, "Yippee!" and jumps out the bed. Ho, I thought your legs weren't working. So was he faking, or is this magic? We get a group cut of all the kids reading aloud what's on the ticket. And in short, the kids are all to visit Wonka's factory on February 1st, which is the next day, and are allowed to bring one parent. Now, off the bat, Mr. Bucket, his father, is the one that they picked to go with him. But since Grandpa Pop Jojo used to work for William back in the day when the world was black and white, they choose him.
We're not going. A woman offered me $500 for the ticket. Bet someone else would pay more. We need the money more than we need the chocolate.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Charlie is so, for an 11-year-old boy, he is so grounded and intelligent. His money-making mind is like, word, we gonna charge a few $100,000, if not a milli for the ticket. This family survives off of quarters and dollars. Like, y'all would be set for life. Y'all would be fine. And more so, especially until like Charlie got out of college. Selfless, just truly selfless. I mean, what kid would give up the chance to go to a once-in-a-lifetime factory, all just to keep food on the table for his family? But Papa George does a whole 360 and convinces Charlie to go anyway, saying that money is printed every day and there's plenty of it. But there's only 5 tickets and you've got one of them. I mean, he's got a point. I don't know. But what I do know is that Charlie, he needs a pocket knife or something. I don't want no funny business going on in this factory. Charlie, come here. I'm gonna give you these. I want you to take, when you take these, don't run with these. Don't run. You don't run with these, okay? So if you're doing the overhead, just hold it like this and right? Or do it underneath, and then you just word. Let me see it. Let me see it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Damn. Okay. You got it. You got. All right. Get your coat. Make sure you got your Grandpa Joe. Make sure you bring his lunch with him. All right. I'll see y'all when y'all come back. So all the kids and their parents line up and wait for the magician to come out. This entire process is very grim. It's dark, it's gray, it's massive, and William is speaking over this loud ass intercom and he's like, "Come forward, close gate." All monotone, and it's almost as if this is like some surreal gates of hell type of situation going on. The first magic show they're shown is this colorful puppet musical number about Willy Wonka being a magician and a chocolate whiz, and at the end, when he has his grand entrance, his royal chair is empty. And the sparks from the fireworks cause all the toys to catch on fire and start melting.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
I have to take a moment and say that Johnny really nailed this role. The voice, the body language, the bob to end all bobs, the gloves, it's all there. He ate this. Gobbled it up like a gobstopper. Especially when you look at his interview videos when he's got the facial hair and everything. Like, that is a completely different person. He is truly a character actor. William is very socially awkward, a common trait in serial killers. I mean, candy makers. Speaking like a goddamn alien, but also pulling out the wit when needed. His sass level is on 10 from the jump. Violet is like, who the hell are you?
My name is Willy Wonka.
So Veruca says, well, you know, shouldn't you be up there on the chair?
Well, I couldn't very well watch the show from up there, now could I, little girl?
When they enter the factory, Augustus asks Wonka, "Don't you want to know our names?" And he just casually says, "I don't see how it would matter." Violet's playing suck up, hugging William. Veruca jumps in following the technique. Augustus's greedy ass tells him how much he likes his chocolate.
I can see that.
Mike and Charlie do not kiss ass though, so William, he addresses the parents, which is a word that he cannot say.
Dad? Papa?
People, step lively!
After turning a key into the lock of a Barbie-sized door, Willy opens his magic chocolate room where we finally move into color. The world in the film up to this point was washed out and bleak, and now all the magic has come alive. and the illusion is just settling in. Everything in the room is edible. The trees, the grass, the pumpkins, the hot melted chocolate river.
Even I'm eatable, but that is called cannibalism and is in fact frowned upon in most societies.
Why would he even make a joke like that to a bunch of children? I laugh though, so... Everybody splits and starts exploring. Mike is smashing pumpkins, being reckless. Charlie heads for an apple that is lit like an Xmas tree, but that blah-bon little takes it from him, tucking her gum behind her ear. This dirty wench. Charlie is like, why not just start another piece?
Because then I wouldn't be a champion. I'd be a loser, like you.
I'm trying to tell you, y'all picked the right ones to go in this factory, because that little girl would have gotten a beat down and a bullet. Word. Augustus is acting like a freaking monster, just shoving everything he walks by into his mouth, and Veruca catches sight of the first Oompa Loompa, and this segues into some backstory. William traveled to the fictional country of Loompaland, looking for exotic flavors for new candy. There, he discovered little people that live in tree houses to protect themselves from the exotic fierce creatures who lived below. They eat nothing but large green caterpillars, but what they craved the most was cocoa beans. So Willy persuaded the tribe to come live in his factory, and they could have all the cocoa beans they want. And while he's telling this story, Big Back Augustus is dipping his hands into the chocolate river, and then he falls in. And Wonka is just standing there watching this while the mother is freaking out. A big machine, which Willy referenced earlier, carries thousands of gallons of chocolate across the factory, and it sucks Augustus up the pipe, but he gets stuck. And our first song begins. A bop, some would say. The upbeat big band horn and dreamy bridge, they did their big one. And I'm prepared for the eye rolls, but guess what? I don't give a damn. This, you know what? Say it with me. Oh, it's magic. So music and magic have always been intertwined, both in a mystical and a practical sense. Since ancient times, music has been a crucial part of magical and spiritual rituals. Chanting, drumming, melodies, these are all used to invoke spirits, alter consciousness, and cast spells. Certain frequencies and rhythms have been believed to hold supernatural power, creating an almost alchemical transformation of the listener's state of mind. You put on a certain artist who has a certain sound because you want to be in a specific mood. Maybe you want to party. Maybe you want to cry. Maybe you want to feel like you're in love. Maybe you want to bow, bow, bow. Like, word. It's sending signals to the brain. Just how film scores manipulate its audience by using those scary sounds and cues. It's the tension of the fear. Just like a well-crafted incantation can influence belief and expectation. Both the magic and the music rely on patterns, formulas, and vibrations. All these Oompa Loompas using their voices, which are sung in different registers, mind you, raising the frequency in the room to propel Augustus's body up the pipe and forward. It's clear as day. Bro, the last thing that we see is chocolate filling up the window. So, bro, is he dead? Miss Keisha. Meanwhile, Wonka is clapping. He's like, that was a good performance, right, y'all? So unserious. This man is twisted. Mr. Salt and Mike point out how the whole musical number seemed like it was rehearsed. Like they knew this was going to happen.
Oh, poppycock.
Your guests might be stuck up and morally corrupted, Mr. Wonka, but they're not stupid. Miss Gloop is tripping out. She's like, is my son going to be made into strawberry flavored chocolate coated fudge and be sold by the pound all over the world? And Wonka is looking at her like, girl, what are you talking about? Sit down, eat a Snickers.
Can you imagine Augustus flavored chocolate coated gloop? Ew, no one would buy it.
He said ill. So Willy grabs an Oompa Loompa and directs him to take Miss Gloop to the fudge room. Another section of Oompa Loompas come riding in the river in a big pink dragon. And Wonka makes a statement about chocolate containing a property that triggers the release of endorphins and gives you the feeling of being in love.
You don't say.
All aboard.
Oh, baby, he don't swing no way. Wonka has another back and forth with the children before Charlie asks him if he remembers being a boy. And we swirl into another flashback where we finally meet his father, the most famous dentist in town, Wilbur Wonka. After Willy gets back from trick-or-treating with the homies, his dad goes on a tangent about all the sugars and cavities that will come with. So he throws his hard-earned candy that he walked all over the hood for into the fireplace. Side note, so we ain't gonna talk about his daddy being British.
Let's see what the damage is this year, shall we?
Maybe I'm not allergic.
And Willy doesn't have an accent anymore. Trauma. He snaps back to reality just as they dip down a tunnel and go in a chocolate riding coaster. There are no seatbelts on this dragon. They could have fell out of this and drowned in the chocolate shitty river. But we know he wouldn't have cared. He would have been like, oh no, help. Somebody help her. Willy takes the guests to the inventing room, the most important room in the factory, aka where his witchcraft takes place. He shows them everlasting gobstoppers, a candy you can suck on forever that never gets smaller, which is definitely a choking hazard. Then there's hair toffee, which makes you grow a mustache, and beard and hair all over your head. And lastly, gum. Oh, we know who this saw trap is for. But it's not just any old gum.
It's a stick of the most amazing and sensational gum in the whole universe. Know why? Know why?
Tell us why.
It's a 3-course dinner. Tomato soup, roast beef, and blueberry pie. Papa Joe thinks it's cool. Veruca says it's weird. And Violet says it sounds like her type of gum. But Willy warns her, telling her it's not necessarily ready, but then she pulls out the
I'm the world record holder in chewing gum. I'm not afraid of anything.
Okay, since you grown, go ahead. Her little eyes bug out. She's saying how amazing it is. Tomato soup, I can feel it running down my throat.
Yeah, spit it out.
Then the course settles. Roast beef with a baked potato, crispy skin and butter. And when the blueberry pie and ice cream kicks in, Veruca notices her nose. And the color starts spreading all across her face. Her mama is like, what's happening? Hey, he told her to spit it out and she wanted to be grown.
Well, I told you I hadn't quite got it right. I'm terribly sorry.
Violet's skin completely changes and her body starts blowing up. And of course, this is the moment after she starts changing where Willy says that he tried it on 20 other Oompa Loompas and they all turned into blueberries. But Miss Beauregard says she can't have a daughter as a blueberry because how is she going to compete? This is what you're worried about, her competing. Cue into another song, and y'all know how I am. I'ma keep it G. This is the best song in the film. Yeah, poor baby. She's a blueberry now. It's over for her. And Wonka directs a Loompa to take her to the juicing room where they'll squeeze her like a little pimple. Next stop is the nut sorting room.
For you see, Mr. Wonka, I myself am in the nut business.
This room is filled with a bunch of squirrels who do nothing all day except taking nuts out of shells. And of course, since this is an animal and on theme with her father's job, it's now Veruca's turn. She looks over at her father and she's like, Daddy, I want one of those squirrels. Get me one now. Say it again. Say it again. I dare you. Say it again. But Mr. Salt reminds her of all the pets that she's got at home.
All I've got at home is 1 pony and 2 dogs and 4 cats and 6 bunny rabbits and 2 parakeets and 3 canaries and a green parrot and a turtle and a silly old hamster.
I want a squirrel!
Mr. Wonka, can I step outside real quick? Yeah, okay. Excuse me. When I tell y'all, if I was Mr. Salt, whew. Oh, I would have took her out in that hallway so quick. Side note, let me say this because I feel like it needs to be said. I was not abused as a kid. I did have spanking. I grew up in a black household. I don't play that shit, but yeah, no, I can't even remember the last time I got an ass whooping. It's probably from my mother, and I was probably like 6 years old or something because I ain't put on my I remember one. I didn't want to put my pants on to go to church, and I had my arms folded and I was on the steps. All I had was my tank top and my tidy whities on. She was like, "You ain't gonna put them pants on?" I was like, "No." She said, "Okay." Man, I heard that jingle down the hallway and I ran. Right? I ran. And I do believe in disciplining children, but when I'm out in public, I'm like, I see these little badass kids running around and the parents are like, "Stop, leave that, like, put that down. Leave it alone." My mom would have been like, "Wait till we get in that damn car." Actually, no, she didn't, because what she did, one thing my mother did a lot, especially in church, my mother has long fingernails and she would grab the back of our arm and she would pinch it really hard. Oh, I still remember how that shit feels to this day. Charlie looks at his grandfather like, "Are you seeing this?" He cannot believe this ungrateful ass child is having a tantrum about a squirrel. So Mr. Salt asks Willy to name his price, but the squirrels are not for sale. So Veruca takes matters into her own hands and goes to get it herself. They attack her, as they should, and if this was a PG-13 movie or if it was rated R, those squirrels definitely would have chewed her face off. She starts screaming for daddy. Yawn. And Willy is so fucking funny. He's so funny for this. He's taking his sweet ass time looking for the key. When I am positive, him living in that factory that long, he knows what key is what. He's sick. And as all the squirrels take hold of her, one knocks her on the head to see if she is a bad nut. To which she is. So they drag little Veruca towards the hole, aka the garbage chute.
Where does the chute go?
To the incinerator. We only light it on Tuesdays.
Today is Tuesday.
Willy tells Mr. Salt that she may be only at the top in case the chute is full, so he unlocks the gate for him to reach in and just grab her. We cue to another song. I always skip this one. And at the end, a squirrel pushes Mr. Salt into the hole head first. And Oompa Loompa comes to tell Willy that the incinerator is broken, so there should be about 3 weeks of rotten garbage to break their fall. They hop into an elevator and Wonka says how he's surprised he didn't think of taking the elevator earlier because it's the easiest way to get around the factory. Now, why are we lying? You do not forget that you have an elevator in your factory that has probably like 200 buttons on the joint because he probably got like 200 rooms in there. What? Stop lying. Why are you lying? The elevator can go long ways, sideways, slantways, whichever way you can think of. They go for a ride and they pass mountain fudge. They pass a room where sheep's hair is being shaved and most likely being used for cotton candy. Then there's the puppet hospital and burn center where we see all the patients that were those wax dolls, them little figurines thing at the beginning of the tour. So we're implying that those wax dolls were alive and not animatronics. Magic! Mike is being a Debbie Downer, saying remarks that reminds William of his father about candy being a pointless waste of time. Careful, Michael. And when he asks Willy Wonka if he doesn't ask him, he tells him he wants to pick a room.
Go ahead.
And out of all the hundreds of rooms in the factory, this child picks the television room. Not surprised. Wonka shows the remaining pair a machine he created that can take a bar of chocolate and transfer its energy into a television. I think we know where this is going. And after showing them how he took a giant chocolate bar and shrunk it and transferred it into a television in which Charlie reached into and grabbed, Mike says this invention is a teleporter, the most important invention in the history of the world. And all your gay asses can think about is chocolate. So he charges off, throwing some Oompa Loompas to the side, and so he floats, playing in everybody's face, and he's teleported. And once again, Willy tells the group what could go wrong after the kid does something, because f them kids, gang gang. Gang, 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 gang. Oh, I miss Vine. Wonka brings up how sometimes only half of the pieces find their way through. So translation, Mike's entire body might not show up. Ooh. But it does, and we have our last and final song, a rock tune with multiple nods to pop culture references, the Beatles, Queen, Psycho, etc., as Mickey Mike is tossed into different channels before his dad finally pulls him out of the TV. So to fix the situation, William tells one of the Oompa Loompas to take Mr. TV to the taffy puller to stretch him out. Charlie is now the only child left of the group, and for whatever reason, Wonka asks, what happened to the others? Like, dude, do you have some type of condition, or are you still in character? He aggressively starts shaking Charlie's hand, telling him that he's the winner. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We have the great glass elevator to speed things along.
And they hop back in the elevator, and Wonka hits a button titled Up and Out. They blast out of the factory, and before they hit the ground and shatter, Willy hits a button that turns the elevator into a jetpack. The other families start coming out of the front of the factory, Augustus first, covered in shit, licking his fingers. And Violet is... child, I don't know what that is. Then Veruca and her scummy daddy come out covered in garbage and flies, and she looks up and sees the elevator saying, "Daddy, I want a flying elevator." And lastly, the TVs come out, and Mike has been stretched to 30 feet and he's as skinny as Mariah Carey. I would sue that coconut-headed little bitch for everything that he's got. I am confused on if the reporters were standing there at the gate all day, because he never announced like when, there was never a time frame. There was never show up here at this time, it ends at this time. So were y'all just sitting here the whole time? And to confirm this, Charlie tells Willy where he lives. And then we cut inside the Bucket's home where his mother asks his father when they'll be back. Willy's face. Wonka tells the Bucket family that the prize to be won for this entire adventure was his factory, which he is going to give to Charlie. Now, why in the world would he do that? Well, in his words, as he was getting his semi-annual haircut, a single strand of gray hair fell from his head, and in that strand, he saw reflected his life's work. So who would watch over them after he was gone? So he's all, what do you say, Charlie? Are you ready to leave all this behind and come live with me at the factory?
Of course. I mean, it's all right if my family come too.
Oh, my dear boy, of course they can't.
Okay.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Charlie tells William he wouldn't give his family up for anything, not for all the chocolate in the world. And Wonka's like, oh, that's a little weird. But you can tell he's genuinely disappointed, and you can tell that he's very hurt. Yeah, buddy, no minors for you. Kick rocks. And the next morning, Charlie helps his parents fix the hole in the roof. It's kind of f***ed up that he just messed up their house and then dipped out. This man is filthy rich. Like, the least he could have did was reward them with a new crib. Papa Joe spent the whole day on his feet cleaning, and Mr. Bucket found another job back at the toothpaste factory, fixing the machines that replaced him. And because of that, things have never been better for the Bucket family. They got a whole Thanksgiving dinner going on. We eating good tonight, y'all. Willy puts himself in therapy again, trying to figure out why he likes kids. I mean, why the candy is not good anymore for the kids. But the candy isn't good because he doesn't feel good. Charlie is out in the cold just trying to get some coins, maybe buy a Nerf gun, pistol or something, I don't know. And the man whose boots he's slaying starts talking to him about Wendell, or Walter, Willy, whatever that his name is, you know. And he's saying how his chocolate hasn't been selling good lately. But it's Wonka, and he reveals himself to Charlie. And instead of screaming pervert and running away, he keeps it casual. Because once again, Charlie is a gang, like, he's grown. I gave him the snip ho. He know what to do. He know, yeah. William asks Charlie what makes him feel better when he feels terrible.
My family.
Charlie start getting buck. He's like, word, Slim, what the f you got a problem with my family for? But Willy tells him it's not his family. It's just the idea of the P word that he can't say. Blah, blah, blah. They bring his dad up and Charlie goes with Wonka to see his dentist. He could have easily kidnapped this kid and locked him inside the factory, but look. While the dentist is looking at Johnny Depp's perfect teeth, Charlie starts looking through Mr. Wilbur's home. He's got a scrapbook full of news articles from Wonka's prime when he first opened the factory. How the unemployment rate dropped as he expanded the factory, giving many people jobs, the sales boost in the local economy, etc. He's clearly been following his son and tracking what he does. Isn't that sweet? Wilbur quickly realizes who the man in front of him on the table is by looking at his bicuspids. They have an awkward still moment, but eventually hug. Then we return home to have dinner with Charlie's family. But as we pan out of the Buckets' home, we see fake snow being sprinkled all about the perimeter and a waterfall in the far distance. I know the f not. Y'all moved in with this Joker? Bro, cut the cameras. Cut the fucking camera. So here's my thing. Willy Wonka, eccentric genius, misunderstood businessman, or a full-blown child predator operating under the guise of a whimsical candy maker? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But if a random ass man with zero social ties, a vague, probably tragic backstory, in a private warehouse full of undocumented workers invited your kid on an exclusive tour where they'd be fed unregulated experimental substances, you would call the cops. Oh, but because his workers sing riddles, because the candy is too nummy, and because this dude dresses like a Victorian pimp.
Are you hep to the jive? Can you dig what I'm laying down? I knew that you could. Slide me some skin. So, brother?
We just let it slide. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'd say walk with me, right? But in this, no, I'm gonna sit. Everybody sit the f down. Let's quiet things for a second and let us just sit with what actually happened here. William dangles the promise of a golden ticket, a literal golden opportunity, right? Specifically targeting these poor lower class children and their equally desperate parents. Then, once they step foot inside his sugar-coated funhouse of horrors, he immediately starts pushing boundaries. No safety rails, no seat belts, no consent, no, hey, maybe don't drink from my living chocolate river because I haven't disclosed the ingredients list. And he watches, encourages even, as these kids break the most arbitrary of rules and then punishes them for it in the most violent theatrical way possible. And then, when all is said and done, when every other kid has been humiliated, maimed, or straight up erased from existence, Wonka turns to Charlie, the poor, gullible, eager to please child who has nothing to his name and nowhere else to go, and tells him, "Congratulations, homie, you passed the test." What test? Survival? Obedience? Stockholm Syndrome? And then just to seal the deal, he asks Charlie to abandon his family and move into the factory, presumably forever. That's not mentorship. That's not generosity. That's grooming. Hear ye, hear ye. Like, you're not listening. You're not listening. But hey, you know, Willy does it with a smile. He's just a quirky, lonely guy. So it's like, he's just innocent, right? He's just whimsical. Like, it's all good. At the end of the day, Willy Wonka isn't just a chocolatier. He's a cautionary tale. A reminder that just because something is wrapped in bright colors and childhood nostalgia doesn't mean it's not deeply unsettling. So you know what, before I get more out of character, before I really like crash out up in here, comment down below if I'm overreacting. Is Wonka just a quirky recluse? Or is this some like Lifetime movie Predator shit going on? Let me know. Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in everything up. So
Here we go.
No, seriously, like, thank you guys for tuning in, and if you're new here, just thank you for subscribing. Like, y'all gonna make me thug cry in here. Like, I don't want to thug cry. Anyway, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take care of your spirit. And if a rich, childless man invites you into his house and tells you you can eat anything you want, I want you to do one thing: run.